Welcome back to the Youth Academy Road to Glory. We continue our assault on all competitions this season by starting in the Champions League, moving into the Premier League, and probably ending with the Carabao Cup as well. There's a lot of fixtures to be played this season because we've set our sights on every single trophy. Life in the Premier League has started well. Life in the Champions League, not quite so much. We lost by 3-2 to Juventus despite fighting very, very hard for that result. And Benfica were able to beat Kiev. We currently sit top of the Premier League, so we're very happy with how things are going domestically at the minute. But we certainly would like to pick up victory if we can in the Champions League to begin the day here against Kiev. Although we will be simulating this one as I have faith in my full strength 11 that they can get the job done today. Do want to say thank you to Ben and to Nick for joining the Patreon. Thank you very much indeed both. Really appreciate it. Those that are on the Patreon or those that were considering joining at the VIP tier, I'll be posting or will have posted earlier in the week, as you see this, about changes or new people for adding your guys into the new save that comes later in the month. So do make sure you check that Patreon post if you are at the VIP tier or were thinking about being at the VIP tier, so that you can get all of the details and I can get all of your details for the player that goes in game. That said, let's just go and play Dynamo Kiev and hopefully get ourselves a result. 3 Premier League games, a couple of Champions League games and a Carabao Cup game today, probably. Although it's probably going to be a bit of an elongated season as we put a lot of focus on every single competition. So there will be games that we end up playing that ordinarily we might well have simmed in any other season. Do drop the video a like if you're enjoying the save, of course, and looking forward to hopefully a very successful 8th season here at the club. Let's see what we can do. Well, that's a hell of a move to start the day off, isn't it? Faris Salihovic, already our top goal scorer, and adding to that tally yet further. He's been sensational. We've been... Oh my God, it could be 2. It is. Inside 9 minutes, Salihovic has a brace. We scored 7 in the Cup against Burnley, and we were already 2 to the good. Here against Dynamo Kiev, away from home. Very, very early on indeed. We might be having another field day in front of goal. We've gone from not scoring many goals at all with 1-0 wins and 0-0 draws to now winning 7-0, 4-0, etc. Now 2-0 up here and hopefully more to come, but not quite yet. Kiev are in. They've got one back. Wagner buries it. Decent finish, good cut back to him. Dynamo Kiev fighting back here. Make sure you get the dub. At the minute. We're not getting the dub. Shevchuk equalises at 2-2. Bugger. Oh, go on. Go on, Faris. Never mind. He scored another hat-trick. Faris Salihovic at it again. What an absolute monster he's turning out to be. Space. Fleming. Salihovic. 4. No. Yes. Offside. Not sure. Yes, 4. Had a little bit of a moment to think about it. I think there were some substitutions being made. But yes, 4-2. And, well, Salihovic has all of them. He's just gone on another level this season, hasn't he? Just decided, you know what? I'm going to be the best striker in Europe. Out of nowhere. He was decent when we signed him. And he did score, like, 12 goals in 12 games. But now he's even further beyond the realms of anyone else. He's got 15 in 10. These really are Erling Haaland-esque figures now, aren't they? 5 in 6 in the Premier League, 4 in 1 Carabao Cup game, 4 in that Champions League game, and he got a goal against Juventus as well. He scored in the Community Shield. He is disgusting, and he's peaked apparently, so he's not even going to get any better. But quite frankly, on the performances he's putting in at the minute, he doesn't need to get any better. Nottingham Forest have a very good team. Dean Henderson in goal. Vanderson, Jaleta Sarr, Harwood Bellis, Alphonso Davies. Brian Hayder, AJ and Lewis O'Brien with Brahim Diaz still sat in that cam role with David Fofana and Eli Wahi up top. Davis and Wahi new signings. Davis 89 rated. Wahi 6 goals in 6 games in the Premier League so far. He's outscoring Faris Salihovic. So let's do something about that, shall we? But Forest in the Champions League spots, and their team is all 82 plus all the way up to 89 for Alphonso Davies and even 92 for AJ. Although, they might be down to 10 men here sooner rather than later. There are some dodgy camera angles at the City ground for some reason. Obviously not been added into the ground very well at all. Wahi, now with 6 goals and a yellow card. Oh, yep, nope, there's that camera angle again. Well done, game. Up we go. Brahim Diaz. Don't foul him. I'm not pressing tackle at all. Hoping that it just won't dangle a leg. Never mind. Wahi makes it 7 goals in 7 games. And it turns out that Salahovic might not be the best striker in the Premier League. Because Forest's new signing Wahi is doing the business for them. He was already in the Premier League. I think he was at, I want to say Chelsea. Wahi. I'm not sure. He was definitely in the Premier League. It was a move within the league because we played against Wahi for someone else. 7 goals in 7 games and we're behind. Wahi. Tackled by Francisco. Bit forceful, but fair. O'Brien. Tackled by Guy. Oh! Forceful but unfair on that occasion. Alphonso Davies played in, and it has been all Forest in this game so far. Decent clearance. Salahovic can't bring it down, though. Play continues with advantage for them for a potential handball, and then Guy steps in. Edwards out to Leao da Silva. We go for a 1-2. We're playing in the channel. No, we won't, because it's gone to Tom Edwards. Okay, I'm on the back foot again. And while he's in, keeper's going to come. Doesn't get there. Oh, it was a nice attempt. Really good vision by Wahi and composure to not just rush the shot, to try and find a teammate to score an easy goal. Unfortunately, the teammate he found didn't do that well with the ball when he got it. Flick that on, Alex. Well done. Go again, sir. And again, Romero around the corner. Salahovic is the man to find. Salahovic is the man found. Anything Wahi can do, Faris can do just as well. It's 1-1. Davies down the line. Oh, it's brilliant. Here's Wahi. Trying again. Getting a little bit selfish now, Wahi. Trying to force that in where there was probably a simple squared ball that might have seen them stand a better chance. My God, Richardson of scoring that second goal. It feels like the Newcastle game where, other than our goal, it's been all the opposition. In that Newcastle game, we somehow were able to work a 4-0 lead. But that's obviously not the case here, but it's still 1-1 and we're not trailing. But only because they keep missing the target or the keeper saves them. That was always going wide. Lenny Stevens out to Alex Fleming. Back with some support here. Edwards. Try and send the defender with a good turn, which we've done well. Fleming, dink, Salahovic! Brilliant header down into the ground, and in first half stoppage time, we get to see the back of people's heels as Faris Salahovic buries his second, his 7th of the season, to go with Wahi's 7th of the season, and this really is a top goal-scoring head-to-head competition between the two of them now, isn't it? In the season as a whole, and when they're on the same field together, but we now lead in this local derby. Very good in this game, Nottingham Forest, and would deserve a point should they get it. Although it is all about, so far, the individual performances of, well, I was going to say the 2 strikers, but certainly Ruben Richardson has had a part to play as well, hasn't he, with some important saves. That's delivered into the middle, flicked, I hesitate to say, away by Romero, but it is now out of the danger zone. And we're going to try and hold on to this 2-1 lead for the next 20 minutes. Nearly got the tackle in. Wahi with options. Well read by Salah. Excellent defensive interceptions there. And awareness to try and step in. Brahim does find AJ here and we're in trouble. He's tried to be sneaky. I half admire that for the genius of trying to squeeze it into the near post and catch the keeper out. Everybody, including myself, expected the cutback, and he's tried to just be naughty and nip it in there. It hasn't quite worked for them, and as a result, they won't get anything from this game now, Nottingham Forest. We will take all 3 points, but we are having to work very hard for some of the results we're getting this season, particularly hard indeed. But thankfully, we've got a marquee striker that is the talisman for the team, just as Forest have as well, of course, with Wahi. Although whether he should still have been on the pitch after 2 minutes after that challenge, I'm not sure. Up next for us is someone else who I can't remember. So, potential to be special. 83 rated CDM, 83 rated centre-back, but still growing. Still growing. So there's plenty more work to come from him. Plenty more growth to come this season. And he's already made an impression. So hopefully he can continue to do that. It was West Ham next. Leicester must be later in the month. We've got some scout reports back though. Ramon Navarrete has completed his development schedule. He's now 86 rated and he has peaked. So he's not going to be growing anymore this season. But to be honest, a fullback at 86 rated doesn't really need to grow anymore, does he? Anything from China? We're scouting some more obscure nations this time around. I say more obscure, just not the obvious. China, Mexico, and the Netherlands. So not too obscure in some cases, but it doesn't look like we're going to get much from these opening 3 scout reports. So we shall have to go again. But at the minute, I see 77 to 94 potential. We think, oh, he could be really good. But then he's only going to be about 55 rated. And it's going to take forever for him to get anywhere. So it's actually pointless. Let's see if we can find someone that's valued 2 million plus, perhaps, to add to our current youth academy that has some top talent in it, including Jack Parker at right back, 81 to 94 potential for the young man, but at 5'5", the fact that he has centre back in his position set is a little bit farcical, really. West Ham United have arrived at Patreon Park now. They've brought with them Etienne Green and a five back of Christian Luizao, Sula, Hayes and Sanchez, João Neves and a now 95 rated Scott Underwood in the midfield. Sofiane Diop, Gonçalo Ramos and Balak Wisha as their front 3. Sula's 87 as well, so they've got some really strong spine. Sula at 87 in the middle of that 3. Scott Underwood in the midfield, and then 86 rated Gonçalo Ramos up top mean that they're a decent side, West Ham, and the supporting players are sufficiently talented as well. It's actually quite a nice away kit, that black West Ham one. We'll be hopefully able to buy a Sheffield United shirt for the next save, although they haven't released their new season's kit yet. So I'm not sure whether we'll be able to buy one for the start of the save, but certainly we will do once it becomes available. Edwards here into Fleming, and Fleming from the edge of the box very nearly gives us a wonderful start. I've been wearing the Southampton shirt, and I can't wear these shirts because, well, you guys make them, so I can't buy them. But we are going to get back into the habit of wearing the shirt of the team that we're managing. Francisco with a header, and João Neves heads clear. West Ham under pressure at the beginning of the game, and Patrick Guy hits someone in the face, and Etienne Green just picks it up. We'll use Edwards first, then out to Romero. I'll lift it. I don't know why I lifted it. I felt like it had a better chance of getting there. In the end, it probably didn't. Edwards into the middle to Guy. Leao is there, and he spun his man brilliantly. What a turn. What a save. Leao da Silva ruining that defender's entire career with that turn. But Etienne Green ensuring that Leao's career was ruined going the other way. It's a brilliant stop. This is going to fall kind of just try and nod it to a teammate, but Gonçalo Ramos has done very, very well indeed. Guy, it's hard to find places to move with the ball. Fleming's done excellently. Fleming this time! Tell you what, Etienne Green's earning his clean sheet bonus at the moment, isn't he? Deary me. What an effort he's making in goal to keep us out today. This will fall for Lenny Stevens, who'll nod this down to Patrick Guy against his former team. It's gone a long way wide. Never mind. We'll build with the ball instead. Oh, bye. See you, pal. Cheeky little scoop turn. I wonder if I can thread that through that gap. Oh, it's not through the gap, but it's still in behind. And Edwards tries to work the angle on his left foot. And can someone do a blood test on Etienne Green? Because I think he's on coke at the minute. His reactions are insane. The man is so alert to everything at the minute. Another top stop from him, from a Francisco header from a corner. Can Lenny Stevens win that header? He can. We'll try and keep the pressure on. It is all AFC. Salihovic from range. That's more comfortable. How many chances do we need? 11 shots we had in that half. 70% possession. Nearly 2 XG. 80 passes to their 36. But Etienne Green is a monster. Now I know what it must feel like playing against Ruben Richardson, because that's the sort of performance that we've seen from our own goalkeeper at times in this save. To Silva. Little scoot turn. And a hurdle over the attempted challenge. This is going to open up, isn't it? Salihovic is here. Faris. If anyone was going to make the breakthrough, you knew it was going to be him on his weaker right side, but just as deadly as ever. We lead by a goal to nil at Patreon Park, and it just had to be him, didn't it? Lovely ball down the line to Harley Cooper. Tuck that back to Faris. Could maybe set Edwards up for a long-range worldie. Or Lenny Stevens for a long-range worldie. Etienne Green needed to make the save. Try and stop them from getting a point from this game. It's a lovely back heel to Scott Underwood, who's been invisible in this game so far. I have to be honest, Scott. You've been absolutely nowhere, pal. And now Harley Cooper at 75 rated is outdoing the 95 rated central midfielder. Balak Wisher could still deliver something, though, and in the latter stages, seconds to go, the keeper's coming up. If Etienne Green scores an equaliser, it's the most comprehensive goalkeeper performance of all time. He's underneath it as well. It's headed by the West Ham man. I'm not going to try and quickly rush it to get it forward to beat the goalkeeper that's off his line. And Rodgers has got the pace to ensure that Salah doesn't get to that. Oh, I nearly stole it off him, though. The keeper wasn't quite back on his line yet either. They're trying to catch my keeper off his line now. Well, that is what you call hit and hope. And it was more hope, less hit, and no equalising goal for West Ham. Smaller margin of victory this time, and back to the 1-0s rather than the 7-0s, but still a win nonetheless. Benfica away in the Champions League. A couple of changes for me in my lineup. Briand in goal for them is only 69 rated, and he's their best possible goalkeeper. So it's a risk to play someone, or to just allow your squad to not have a number one obvious goalkeeper. But he's made a good save there from Leao, who's now 90 rated for us, might we add. They've got some good players in there, though, with Sheldrup. We're 1-0 up through Salanasto. Nacho back in business. His first goal since his return from injury. Fabio Silva up top, who's half decent. Neres at cam, who's obviously quite talented. And Sheldrup at 86 on the left is very good. And on the right, Moreira is 85. But with a lowly rated goalkeeper, they might be in trouble this season, Benfica, in the Champions League. And because of that, that's why we're simming this one, hoping that we can get a decent result because of the nature of their squad. There's a second. That was tame as well. It seemed like it just floated, rolled over the line. Carter Little adds his first goal for the club to his resume. And we lead by 2 here in the Champions League. But maybe not for long. Benfica with a wasted free kick opportunity. When we say maybe not for long, it might be because we're going to score a third of our own at the other end. What a run by Edwards, and what a cross as well. Fleming comes close. That would have been a brilliant counter-attacking goal. And we still nearly add a third. It'll be just 2 at half-time. Edwards is in. Oh, what a cross. I probably would have shot from there with Edwards on his left foot, but he's seen De Silva at the back post, who's now come off. His last action in the game is to score a sweet volley to give us a 3-0 lead and absolutely assure that we have 2 wins from our opening 3 Champions League games. The group stage is going significantly better than it did last season, isn't it? There we go. All assured. 12 shots to their zip and a comfortable win. 0-0, I think that's it, between Juventus and Dynamo Kiev. So we might stand a chance of sneaking top spot if we can beat Juventus in the next game that we play them in. Hello, I'd like to talk to him, thank you. Given the fact that we've been able to comfortably beat Kiev and Benfica in sims, I think I'm quite happy to sim the other 2 games against them in this group stage, at least the first one, to see what happens. We'll also sim this against Leicester because we've got a game against Tottenham coming up in the Carabao Cup that I would absolutely want to play and get progression through with. Outfield, Leicester are very impressive. Yeremy Pino 87, Rodri mid to late 80s, Diogo Jota 87 up top. But again, a 71 rated keeper as their best option between the sticks. They've got 3 or 4 keeps, but none of them are any good. So similar to Benfica, unfortunately, they do have Diogo Jota up top, who gives them an early 1-0 lead here. So they're going to be a bit more deadly in offence than Benfica were in the last game, despite having a poor goalkeeper, just as Benfica did in the last game. And we might find ourselves in a little bit of trouble here, but hopefully we can grow into the game and we'll still come away with a victory. Salahovic is in, working it around nicely. Edwards. Oh, shoot, Sally. Shoot, mate, and you'll score, I'm sure of it. 2-0 Leicester. Luca Oyen berries. 84 rated Luca Oyen. I didn't know really much of him other than his name, to be honest. But he's grown very well, Luca Oyen, in this save. And Leicester at the minute, they were 15th in the table. on 8 points compared to our 22. So this obviously stands out as the one to sim and then play Tottenham. But, well, rather evidently, I should have played them both and just kept the other Tottenham game for the next episode, because Leicester are now 3 goals to good in this first half. And this is the sort of performance we normally put together against other teams. Now we're having a taste of our own medicine. Mera win behind. A consolation goal maybe? No, not even that. A real, not only a taste of defeat, it's a whole 3-course meal of defeat, this. Leicester absolutely dominated us. Diogo Jota with the brace. And unfortunately, we're going to, like I say, take a taste of our own medicine. But 1 is fine. It's if 1 becomes 2, becomes 3, and starts to become a bit of an issue. You're allowed a little bump in the road, so we will try and smoothen out that bump in the road. It is our first defeat in the Premier League this season, unfortunately, so the unbeatable season, the invincible season, is no longer a possibility for us. But we're still doing okay. We're not actually scoring that many goals. The whole score 100 in the Premier League season isn't going too well so far, is it? With only 13 in 9 games. But at the minute, we're still top of the table. And with Tottenham to play in the Carabao Cup next, it is going to get significantly more difficult than that Leicester game. Nicholas Horn in goal for Spurs, 81 rated. Okay, but Tottenham don't have a great goalkeeper anyway. There apparently seems to be a significant lack of decent goalkeepers in the save right now. Tresoldi up top at 80 rated is their best striker as well. Some strange decisions being made by opposition managers with regards to their transfer business, but evidently it didn't stop Leicester, and it might not stop Tottenham, but hopefully it will do. Hopefully we can stop Tottenham as well. I'd like to avoid a penalty shootout. Those have not been kind to me of late. And we, of course, want to win every trophy we're involved in this season. So that means we've got to beat Spurs. We might be able to play my guy in behind, but we can't. It's a lovely ball down to Leao da Silva, though. And here's Nacho Salinas in a good position. Nacho draws the save out of Horn. Nacho getting the start in the Cup and nearly adding another goal to his tally for the season. Oh, excellent footwork from Guy, at least on this occasion. And Walter to Baumann to Alex Fleming. And that is as accurate a finish you are ever likely to see. Driven into that bottom corner with quite some style from Alex Fleming. We tasted our own medicine in the last game. Now we're dishing out some of our own. Wow. I need to see that finish again. It was that good. Lovely footwork from Patrick Guy in the middle. Ball from Baumann is excellent. But that finish. Oh, that finish. Yes, Alex Fleming. That's what I'm talking about. That's the sort of goal that will win you a trophy. Harley Cooper's in a great position here. Looking for Nacho. It's a poor ball, but Fleming get it out to Leao. And this has worked brilliantly. And Nacho's just onside. And the footwork's exceptional. And the goalkeeper will certainly want to see that again to know how he can do better. Because Nacho Salinas has put that right through his legs. The footwork from Nacho there was sensational. He's not done that for a while. In fact, I don't recall him ever doing that prior to his injury. He very nearly set Leao up for a wonderful goal with unbelievable footwork in the last episode. And that's just as good close control from him. And certainly the keeper will be disappointed in himself. He's gone through his legs there. Not doing himself any favours, Horn, to hold on to that starting spot. But I tell you what, Nacho Salinas is back. Win Penny now. When sorting Tottenham's side out, I must have just glanced over Jack. He's obviously 90 rated and their #1 striker. For some reason, I didn't see him when putting Tottenham's squad together to ensure that they were as they should be for this game. They subbed Tresoldi, the 80 rated guy, off after 37 minutes. We scored our second goal and they yanked him before the end of the first half. So Wimpenny on here to try and rescue the game for Tottenham, but it does need some rescuing. We're 2-0 to the good and look comfortable. Rashford, lunge, well in, Carter, lovely tackle. Oh, not such a lovely tackle at all. That was nasty from Spurs' #7. Yeah, you might well be like, oh, I'm sorry. It's going to be a yellow card for, yes, but, oh, he's actually injured Patrick Guy and he's having to come off. That's how bad a challenge it was. Tottenham are going out of the Carabao Cup here. We'll start the next episode with Tottenham in the league. So we're going to have to play them again in short succession. And they'll be a little bit stronger perhaps for that game with Jadon Sancho back fully fit, as well as a couple of other players that sat this one out. But we're through to the next round of the Carabao Cup, and so far, the march on towards 4 trophies keeps on going. That will draw us to a close for today's episode. Following the next episode in a couple of days' time, we should then be back to daily content, I hope. Obviously, as you see this, I'm currently away from home on holiday for a brief while, but we'll be back. He's out for 2 months, Patrick. I mean, it's manageable. 2 months is manageable. Frustrating, but we can deal with that. Bauman can go in for now, and we can absolutely cope with that. I'd be tempted, actually, to put Salah in there. Bauman gets a +3. Salah is better everywhere other than the defensive side of the game. But he gets a -3 at centre mid at the moment, because he's only content with his morale. But if we can improve his morale a bit, then certainly he can slot in there and do just as good a job. Okay, well, join me in the next episode for the fixture against Tottenham, and then hopefully further progression in the Premier League. Liverpool now lead the way. They've gotten themselves a 3-point gap at the top of the table. If there's one trophy, though, I'm willing to not win this year, it's the Premier League, because that's the one we've already got. Tottenham, Benfica, Liverpool, Southampton and Juventus in the next episode. So it'll be Tottenham, Liverpool and Juventus that we play. And then December, rather understandably, as ever, is going to be pretty busy. That'll do us for today, though. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Appreciate your patience in waiting for the new content. Of course, as I'm away this week, but we should be back to daily content very, very soon indeed. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.